turn the dial. You're now tuned in to this Safety Man Movement Podcast with your host, Terry the Great.
What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Safety Man Movement Podcast. I am your host, Terry Gray, and I am the Safety Man. And whether you believe it or not, so are you. Happy Monday to you guys. And we're here, and I'm excited to be here. And for those of you who are watching on the video version, who's looking on YouTube or somewhere else where you can actually see the video version, you might notice something a little bit different today. And that thing is that I'm wearing my New England Patriots garb, my jerseys and hats, because I'm excited. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to go to Gillette Stadium to see a Patriots game, one of the preseason games, but I got to go there for the first time in my life. And it was exciting. I've been a fan since 1995, so to be able to actually go up to New England from all the way from Virginia was a exciting experience, and to get to walk through the Hall of Fame, to just see the stadium, and I went on top of the lighthouse. It was just a really, really good time. We went to see, my family invited me, my brother and his family invited me to travel with them to go see the New England Patriots and the Eagles game in New England. And I went up there, and they're Eagles fans. I'm a Patriots fan. For those of you who didn't know that already, most of you who know me already know these things. But we were able to watch the training camp, and that was awesome. It was really a great experience just to see everybody on the field, both teams doing their thing. It was really cool. I got to go to the Hall of Fame. I looked in there, saw all 6 trophies and the 6 rings that we got. But you know, I'm not going to keep on pushing the issue because I don't want you to cut off the podcast all because you might not be feeling that. Anyways, we were having a ball there, and I think today there's a point this week I'm gonna be wearing all my Patriots garb for you guys, not for you, for myself, to celebrate this fun time that I had when I went to the Patriots. This is my jersey that I got here, number 42. I need you to take a look at that. You see, my favorite number is 42, and I always put on my jerseys. You can see that, the great. You'll see that on the back of my jerseys. But when I'm getting my Patriots stuff, you know, I have a hard time sometimes deciding whose jersey to buy because you never know who's going to be here next week. And I'm going to be wearing my Patriots gear all week for this podcast this week for you all who are video. If you're not watching me on the video, if you're not tuning in, go there to YouTube or any version of the podcast that shows the video. It should be there. If it's not, message me, let me know so I can get that straight and squared away. Either way, again, welcome again, guys. It was great. But one thing that I experienced there, and this is really going to be, and I'm going to utilize this past weekend at the Patriots game, to help me talk about the messages that I had set for this week's podcast, Safety Man Movement Podcast, because it really got it ties in, right? On the very first play, this is Saturday night, we were doing we were sitting there for the preseason game, and on the very first play, one of the Philadelphia Eagles players was injured, and I mean, it looked pretty serious the way he was laying there, and you know, you have to take precautions because you never really know what's going on. So they were out there, and you don't see often. You'll see people get carted off the field. You'll see people get carried off the field. You'll see people walk off the field. And sometimes even on the little orange thing, you'll see them come and take people away. But this time, they brought the ambulance out. So it was absolutely looking bad. It wasn't looking good, right? And so this injury happened. They did what they had to do. Everybody clapped. Good news is that the running back, which is Jaquinton Jackson, who plays for the Eagles, has movement in his hands and his limbs, so that is a fantastic thing. And here's an interesting thing that happened from this. Right when I saw that happen, and I saw all of the people on the field, and I saw the ambulance, I took a really quick video of it, and I posted that video onto TikTok and say prayers for the Eagles player who got injured, right? I said prayer for him because it wasn't looking good, right? And I posted that video on TikTok on Saturday night. And for some reason, I don't know why it happened, but that video went viral and it has like 900,000 plus views right now. And I think that was interesting that people are drawn either to drama and injuries and things that are tough to talk about, and they like those things. So, that moment I had to focus on, like, wow, what people were from all different teams were commenting and saying, hey, prayers for the player, checking in on him, giving updates on how he was doing, things like that. And I think that was a pretty amazing thing to happen. But that's going to lead me to what I'm talking about this week. All week long, I'm going to be talking about caring for yourself and caring for others. But today specifically, we're jumping into this when in episode 16 is talking about you will not protect what you do not value, right? And one of the things that I'm trying to let you guys in on is how the Safety Man movement is slowly but surely introducing it to some and reminding others about what we talk about, which is the Safety Man movement talks about empathizing, empowering, engaging, and enlarging. We empathize to empower, we empower to engage, and we engage to enlarge and expand those things. But the main thing that I want to talk about today is caring. And I believe that was a great display of care from a lot of people who were looking at the situation, didn't always have all of the information, but they said and offered their prayers for the injured player. And I think that was a great thing that we were able to do. And there was just so many different responses within the thread of that video, where if you go and you look at it, you'll see it's not on my Safety Man movement TikTok. I have another TikTok, Terry the Great. That's why you see the great on the back of my jersey. But it's another TikTok channel that I got going on. You can go check that out. But where the conversations around it expresses so many different things, and it revealed so many different things to me. And I want to talk about some of those things this week. And today I am starting with talking about you won't protect what you do not even care for, or what you do not value. And the two things that I always talk about is valuing yourself and valuing the lives of others, because you are the equivalent to someone else in this world. There's something special about you. There's something important about you that creates value, that you're a unique person, a unique individual that requires and deserves protection and deserves people caring for you, people praying for you when something happens that's not exciting or not the best thing that could happen to you. When we talk about workplace injuries, that was a workplace injury. Those guys were at work. And I have a concern that we dehumanize those professional players a lot of times. Like, some people care, some people don't realize that there's another life. And I see that even on our job sites, where if it's a person you don't like, a person you don't get with, or a person that you don't have a relationship with, you don't really care if it doesn't hit home, or if it's not your team, or if it's not your family, if it's not the people who you are living with day to day. Your emotions, some people emotions are totally detached. In the comments, I saw some people say, hey man, I don't care, blah, 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 go Philly, or blah, blah, blah. Didn't nobody cry for my person, or this, that, and the other. And it was just a great variety of people having different perspectives and different expressions from the same event, right? But I know it was overwhelmingly more positive people who were sending prayers, who were, talking positively about it and seeing the things going on. So I thought that was very interesting. And so with that, my safety thought of the day, it says, if you don't recognize your own value, rules alone may never convince you to protect yourself. Right? We know in the game of football that there is plenty of rules, just like in your workplace. There are rules and things that are in place that are intended to protect you. They're not perfect by any means, but they are a guideline to help you have the best opportunity to succeed as possible. Same thing applied to this game when he was doing his job, doing what he was supposed to do. But even in the midst of rules, things still happen and an accident occurred. As I think about the people who were commenting on what had happened, not valuing the person because the guy wasn't a starter, not valuing the person because they didn't know who that person's name was, right? It's all of these different types of things impact how we respond in our own work area. And so if you don't recognize the value of people in the safety world, no matter whether it's at your job or in your house, if we don't recognize the value of people, which is the heart of everything, right? The people themselves are the value and the reason for the rules, to protect them. And if you don't see value in the very thing you're protecting them, then the policies and procedures won't help you at all. Before you even think about a policy or procedure, if you don't care about yourself or the people whom you're around, then those people are in danger from the attitude. So if, again, the safety thought of the day is that if you don't recognize your own value or even the value of others, rules alone will never or may never convince you to protect yourself or anybody else. If you don't recognize your value or the value of others, policies and procedures, those things aren't going to work. You may be compliant, but do you actually care? Are you trying to actively make a difference with your efforts and the things that you're supposed to do? So safety begins by recognizing the value of your presence on the field of life, on the field in your job. And as we were thinking about on the field of this game that was going on, he went down. He was filling a role, but when he was injured, there was a void there, and he had an impact. Just like you have an impact, you have a part to play, and we have to value those things. So as today I'm on a little bit late, so you've probably already been to work and you're probably at work right now, and you'll probably hear this late, or you might even hear it on Tuesday by the time I finish recording and get everything going out. It'll be posted today, but the idea is that your day is already gone. So as you think about today, think about identity and who you are and the value that you present to those who are around you, and even when you're missing, the void that is present and evident. So your identity and who you are, whatever your role is, just like on a football team, and I'll be making this comparison kind of all week long as it compares to football and how we operate in our daily lives, in our daily workplace, and at home. Your identity influences the risk you tolerate, who you believe you are, who you think you are, or even who you think others think you are will influence the types of risk that you tolerate, right? If you are driving your car and you have your kid in the back, or let's say you're a passenger, you have your kid in the back and somebody is driving who's reckless, you are going to say something to that person who is driving reckless, because it's not even that you want to protect yourself alone, but you want to protect your kid, your loved one, your family one that's also in the car experiencing the foolishness of somebody else. But if you don't value the child, if you don't value yourself, you will tolerate a lot more mess. But you have to be able to recognize what and who you are in order to set a boundary of what you will tolerate people around you. I always tell people this typically when I'm doing one of my presentations is we have to elevate what we're doing. When we're enlarging, we're not just enlarging who we're talking to and where we're going, but we're expanding our standards to those who may be joining our team. One of the things that I love about the New England Patriots is the culture that they create, and how when you come in, you have to elevate your game to this level of expectation. When you come into our team, when you come into our job site, you have to raise your expectation. We can't lower our bar to meet those of people who don't care or value our teams or ourselves or even themselves when they come into our environments. So identify, or your identity, the way that you view your identity influences the way that you tolerate risk around you. And you have to be willing, you have to be mindful and aware of, again, your value and the value of those around you to set the bar of tolerance. what you will and will not tolerate. We can't tolerate a low standard because your value is greater than that. So know who you are, and knowing who you are helps align your behaviors with the things that matter. Knowing who you are, knowing who others are, will help you align your behavior to align with what matters, and protecting the things and the people that matter, yourself, your teammates, the family members of people you may encounter. It doesn't have to be just at work. Again, you're a safety shifter, and I'm trying to create a way for you to come on in to the understanding how the safety world applies beyond the 8-hour workday, beyond the job that you're working, beyond the game that even you as NFL players are playing. Your safety goes far beyond that. But on the field, you have to protect yourself. In your work areas, we have to protect ourselves to make sure that we are able to make it home the same way left, to the best of our abilities. Now, football is a high-risk game, and we understand that, but we still want to protect as much as we can to prevent tragic things from occurring. All right. So here's your safety shift of the day. I want you to write down 3 people or purposes affected by your presence. Who is changed by you being around? It may take a little moment for you to think about who you are, but write down 3 people who was affected by your presence, or you can write 4 or 3 purposes affected by your presence as well, because you matter, right? And you have to recognize that. So take a little time to write this. This is to literally activate in your mind and give you a practical way to see the value that you present. If you want to do more than 3 people, write more than that. All right. So here's your call to action. Share this, like it, look at it, share it with other people. As we are doing this week, as we're going on, we want to make sure that people are seeing their value that they present, and that you understand your value and how safety connects it all together. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you again. This one was a little bit longer, but I wanted to give you a precursor to what you can expect to experience the rest of this week. As we go into this work week, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you had a great day today, and that you're ready to do it all again tomorrow. Remember, Smin Lloyd Mateo, that the safety man is no longer one individual, but many individuals that are one. That includes you. That includes the Patriots. That includes the Eagles. That includes all of us. So let's do our part and make sure we understand our value. And I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Peace.